Hey everyone, I'm Madals, and today I'm getting very excited about Borderlands 3 coming out very soon. Katie and I are probably going to be streaming this an awful lot over the next few days, weeks, months, maybe even years, and we're getting ready by going through some of our talents, some of our classes. We finally decided which characters we're going to main first, and today we're going to be looking at Zane the Operative. And this build is one that I've looked at, obviously, before the game's come out, just playing around with the talent calculator on the Borderlands website. I've put a link to the talent build that I'm going to be running down below. No promises it'll be good, because, of course, until we start playing, we're not going to know how this will work. But, hey, it's all revolving around kill skills, and just zooming about at 1,000,000 miles an hour, blasting everything as fast as we can. So, let's get started. It all revolves around kill skills. So getting that first kill, getting more damage, more speed, more health, more shield regen, more everything, killing more, rinsing and repeating. We're going to start off in the Hitman tree. That gives you the active ability Sentinel, which is a drone that flies around, shoots your enemies for you, and basically is just a good little pesterer. It's also got the ability from default to attack the enemy under Zane's crosshairs if you re-press the action key. First up, we're going to get 1 point in violent momentum. This increases Zane's gun damage based on his move speed. What's great about this is that at base walk speed, it still gives bonus gun damage, so it's just a flat damage. So 1 point in there. We then jump over into violent speed, our first kill skill. This increases Zane's movement speed for a few seconds after killing an enemy. We'll get 2 points of there, giving an 8% move speed bonus, and then we'll jump back to violent momentum to get that up to 3 points. Moving up into the second row of this talent tree, we're going to grab 1 point in drone delivery. This makes Sentinel drop a free grenade based on your current grenade mob while attacking enemies pretty much every 15 seconds. Nice big damage boost, so definitely getting 1 point in there. Then, depending on how things are feeling, I'm going to put 1 point into Salvation. Salvation is another kill skill which gives Zane's weapon lifesteal for a few seconds after killing an enemy. 1 point here for 2% of damage deal should just be enough to give me a little bit of extra defensive capability, a little bit more sustain, and keep me alive. When I put this point in on this row will really just depend on how things are feeling and how much I'm getting hurt and really how squishy I'm feeling. The rest of the points in this row, though, are going to go into Cool Hand, which increases Zane's reload speed after killing an enemy. The entire point of this build is just to be going fast, dealing damage, and never stopping. Never stopping after all. Now, this, I'm going to put 3 points in there, and that will complete the second row. And the order of this, as I said, drone delivery first, then get up Cool Hands. Unless I'm feeling a bit squishy, then I'll put my point in Salvation. At this point, we get our next big move in this skill tree, and really our first absolute key point of the build, which is Death Follows Close. This is a 1 point skill, and it means that all of Zane's kill skills gain increased effect and duration. They get 7 seconds of extra duration and 25% bonus effect. Now, to put that in perspective, if we take a look at violent speed, its default duration is 8 seconds. If you get that extra 7, that's going to be absolutely huge. Plus, on all of these other things like the gun damage, like on Salvation, like on the reload speed, it just all synergizes beautifully. The other nice thing about this is we get 2 of the skill augments, which is new to Borderlands 3, that we can equip straight away. I'm going to be grabbing the Radiation Laser Beam because it weakens enemies and buffs Zane. I'm going to stick that in straight away. And I'm also then going to play around with either the Static Shield that sends a shock beam out, draining enemy shields and replenishing Zane's if I'm feeling a bit squishy, or I'll get the Cryo Damage one. It does reduce the damage of the drone, but it does change it to Cryo Damage. So we'll see which feels nicer there, really, once we get playing. Once we've got Death Follows Closely, we then have to pad out this tree a bit more in order to get to the next row. So I think I'm going to be going to maxing out Violent Momentum, getting that 20% extra damage at default walk speed on gun damage, and then put the remaining points into Violent Speed. Again, just to be going faster. Remember, that's buffed up with the extra 7 seconds and the extra 25% of Death Follows Closely. And overall, this is going to make me zooming through this mid-game phase, really going as fast as I possibly can, killing everything, getting a good amount of damage down, and then we open up the next row. As we start to finish off the Hitman build, we get some really nice abilities towards the top of this tree. The first one is Violent Violence, creatively named, which again, kill skill, increased fire rate for a few seconds after killing an enemy. Now again, this has a default duration of 8 seconds, but with death follows close, it's going to be ramped up by another 7 seconds. So that's a really nice boost. On the other side though, we've got playing dirtly. And now after killing an enemy, this gives Zane's next 5 shots a chance to fire an additional projectile. And it ramps up by 10% each time. Where I put the points in this, I think I'm going to have to play around with based on the weapons I'm using. So if you're going to be using kind of SMGs, assault rifles, anything that's got kind of high magazine, low damage, rate of fire based, I'm going to be putting more points into violent violence. If, however, I'm going more kind of shotguns, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, really anything that has low magazines, low ammo, but a lot of damage per shot, then obviously putting more points in playing dirty. I think the other thing here, which isn't clear from this description, is whether that additional projectile is ammo-free, because that's going to make a big difference on whether this skill is absolutely phenomenal or just very good. Either way, we'll just put 5 points in here to knock us up into good misfortune. Again, another kill skill. Killing an enemy increases Zane's action skill duration. It has diminishing returns, but we're going to max this out to 3 points straight away. We'll then go back up a row because you won't quite have enough to get the capstone. And we'll put, again, points into either playing dirty or violent violence, depending on the weapons we're using and how it's feeling. We then complete the Hitman tree for now with getting the capstone in C and red. Activating an action skill automatically activates all of Zane's kill skill abilities. Now, just from what we've got in this tree, this is an amazing ability to start things off because we'll throw out Sentinel at the start of any engagement and we'll immediately have that additional move speed, which gives us additional damage. We'll get the reload speed. We'll get the extra fire rate, the extra chance for bullets. We'll get action skill duration increased. All absolutely fantastic. So just synergizes beautifully. I love the way this tree is built. And again, at this endpoint, we've got open 2 more active ability augments. We've got the option to get Sentinel to paint an area and fire missile barrages at that area. And then the other option, of course, is the rocket pods, which just makes him shoot out rockets as well as his machine gun. I'm definitely going to be always running the bad dose radiation just because of the fact that it weakens enemies and buffs Zane. And then really my choice is going to be between static field for more survivability or against enemies with lots of shielding. Doomsday is probably going to be kind of a casual, nice passive ability that doesn't require too much thought, just does it by itself. Or if I'm looking for a more active play style, we'll be running with Almighty Dronance, which gives obviously that painted area. The cool part of this though is that it is reset if it kills an enemy. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. It could give you an awful lot of uptime on Sentinel. But obviously it's a bit more of an active play to make sure that you're always going to be getting that kill. Once we've finished up the Hitman tree, I'm going to jump over into Double Agent. It's a bit of a glass cannon build, and potentially, seeing on how things are going, the Undercover tree could be better if we need a bit more defensive capability in our comp, but Double Agent is just more damage. So the active ability here is a digi-clone, exactly the same as Hans and Jax in the pre-sequel, and this distracts enemies and fires at them. So all nice and good. The other cool thing is a teleport between you and your clone, which could be useful in certain situations and is buffed by some parts of this tree. So we'll grab that up because obviously you have to. Next up, we've got this first line of talents in Double Agent. Firstly, Synchronicity is where whenever Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased damage, gun damage for every active action skill. Now, because at this point we're going to have 2, we're going to have Sentinel and the digi-clone. This, even with just 3 points in it, is going to give us 24% more gun damage. So that's awesome, especially when it is all revolving around kill skills and gun damage, and obviously all the bonuses we're getting in the Hitman tree. I'm also going to put the remaining 2 points, just to get this ticking over, that Zane gains increased active skill duration for every active action skill. So again, this just means blowing digi-clone and also Sentinel at the same time, and that also works nicely, giving bonus gun damage, just keeping those up always. So that's a nice little bit of sync there, and then we move on to the next row. Moving up into the second row on the Double Agent tree, we've got some nice stuff coming through here. Firstly, fractal frags. This gives digi-clones a chance to throw a additional grenade for free every time a kill is made. So it's a kill skill. That is fantastic. It's got a base 30% chance, but of course, being a kill skill means that it's going to synergize fantastically with Death Follows Close with the 25% kill skill bonus, which doesn't add together, but does still mean that it'll go up to a 37.5% chance to throw it on every kill. Plus, as a nice little bonus, as soon as you activate the digi-clone, it throws a copy of your current grenade mod, and if the digi-clone dies, it drops a free grenade as well. So considering going to be blowing both action skills on the start of combat, this is a good little boost to damage. The next 4 points I'm going to put in on this side of the tree is over on Donnybrook. It's another kill skill, and whenever Zane kills an enemy, both he and his digi-clone receive increased gun damage and gain health regeneration for a few seconds. So this is just going to give some additional survivability and more gun damage, which synergizes beautifully. And again, Death Follows Close is going to basically double the duration that this lasts for and give it an extra 25% in its effectiveness. So really now we're ramping up the gun damage absolutely crazy high. That lets us go up to the third row, where we're going to grab Quick Breather, which is whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, his shield immediately begins recharging. Now, considering when this is coming in, when we're looking at this kind of level point, we're at level 38. I think it's a really nice point to get this. Usually, looking at the previous Borderlands games, this is when you start to feel a bit squishy. So it's just going to give a really good extra slice of defensibility. We've also got some action skill augments available here. So the first one, which I really like, is a bit of splash damage, which is whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, a crane over it is triggered around Zane and his clone. So that's going to be nice if you get swarmed, you get too many melee, and a bit of bonus damage and slow speed. The other one I'm probably going to grab here basically means that whenever the clone takes damage, Zane's shield is restored by a portion of that damage. So again, some extra survivability. Your other option there is enemies are more likely to target the clone for a few seconds after it's summoned and after swapping places. But I'm not too sure on that. I kind of want to keep the clone up a lot, considering I'm amping up gun damage. So getting this extra shield is going to be good. I'm going to be pretty tanky here with the switching between, so I don't really mind if I'm taking the brunt of the damage. Now, before we can move up into row number 4, we've got to get a couple more points in Double Agent. I'm firstly going to max out Donnybrook because that extra gun damage is just going to be amazing and synergizes as being a kill skill. I'm probably going to also max out Synchronicity. Again, more gun damage based on active skills. It's not a kill skill, but it's some points to go in. Depending on how things are feeling and how my active ability is staying up, I might get the borrowed time up at some additional places. I'm also going to stick 1 point in Duct Tape mod. This is quite interesting. So this one gives the first shot fired from Zane's gun a chance to also fire a grenade. It's got a short cooldown of 8 seconds, but with a quick reload speed coming from the Hitman tree and the kill skills there, this could be really powerful, especially on low magazine weapons. It could be insane. Now, if at this point in the game I do have a low magazine weapon, I'm probably going to switch out points and max out Duct Tape mod, because just shooting grenades just bonkers fast is going to be a load of fun. Moving up into the fourth line of the Double Agent tree, we're going to be jumping into Old You as the 1 point here. Basically, reactivating your action skill when digi-clone is up gives you, while you're in fight for your life, I should add, gives you immediately gain second wind with full health. So the downside of this is it destroys the clone, but it is a kind of get out of death free card. So again, whether I put this in as the first point will be on how squishy I'm feeling, how much I'm getting into second wind, and how much I really feel I need that. But I will get it at some point just because it's a good emergency get out. What I will also do is get 1 point in Pocket Full of Grenades. It's a kill skill, which after a kill, Zane gains grenade regeneration for a few seconds. It's 7% per second with just 1 point with an 8-second duration. But remember, Death Follows Close over in the Hitman tree is going to be buffing that up, nearly doubling its duration. And when we're going to be chucking out grenades all the time, could be really nice to add in. What I am going to max out on this line, though, as I'm first leveling up, is Supersonic Man. So this is whenever one or more of Zane's action skills are active, he's going to gain increased movement speed for each active action skill. So that's 12% move speed per skill. We're going to have both up at the start of each fight, which is going to be triggering our kill skill abilities, which is going to give us bonus move speed anyway, remember over in Hitman from Violent Speed, and that is going to give us more gun damage from Violent Momentum. So basically, we're going to be running at a billion miles an hour, dealing so much gun damage, people are just going to get shotgunned in the face and not know what happened. To finish off this build, we get, of course, up to the second to last line of Double Agent, where we've got a lovely 1-point ability, Boom Enhance. Now, this one I just love. Whenever Zane summons his digi-clone, it consumes up to 3 grenades, and for each grenade consumed, the digi-clone gains increased gun damage, health, fire rate, reload speed, and duration. And these are big numbers as well. 20% per grenade gun damage, 81% health, 5% fire rate, 31% reload speed, and 25% duration. Obviously, that can be stacked 3 times with the grenade damage, grenades consumed, and that's just huge. This is basically going to make our digi-clone an absolute beast. And with all the other gun damage we're stacking through kill skills and the fact that they're activated immediately because of the capstone from Hitman, this just means when we start combat, we are going to be absolutely phenomenally powerful, and that digi-clone is going to hit like a truck. Now, this is getting really into endgame now. That's our second to last point, and we are left with just 1 point. Now, obviously, there's a few options we've got around here. The pocket full of grenades, I think, is quite a cool option to get another point into. Being a kill skill, it's going to benefit from follow closely, and obviously with Boom Enhance, getting more grenades up to get that digi-clone to do more each time we're starting damage is going to be great. It's going to have double the duration, so that's going to give us quite a lot of grenade charges up while we're going between packs. We've also got an option to kind of fill out the extra active action skill duration, but with Boom Enhance already giving a lot of extra duration to the digi-clone, I'm not sure that's going to be essential. Duct tape mod is another one that I'm kind of interested in. It fires a grenade from each first shot fired. So again, low magazine weapons, this could be a great point to put it in, but it's not a kill skill. Otherwise, over in the Hitman tree, we do have a few more things we could look at putting some points into. We could finish off Violent Speed, just getting even more move speed, which again will be buffed by Death Follows Close. If we're feeling a bit squishy, we can get an extra point of Salvation just to eat up some more damage there. If it's playing nicely, playing dirty, the next 5 shots have a chance to fire an additional projectile. Being a kill skill, this gets a big boost from Death Follows Close, so that could be really nice to kind of cap out there. Or again, if we're running with max fire rate speed weapons, maybe we'll go for Violent Violence. So overall, that kind of last point is going to be a bit of a preference play, depending on how you're wanting to play, what weapons you've got available at that point. But overall, this build synergizes so nicely. So that wraps up this guide to Zane the Operative, focusing on kill skills. Now, I think this is going to be a super fun build to play. It's what I'm going to be doing first, and obviously, kill skills have been great fun. I loved playing Nisha in the pre-sequel. It was absolutely awesome. But this build and Zane has really enhanced upon that. One, the synergy that you get across of all of them from Death Follows Close with the bonus duration and the active bonus to their effects is massive. But what's really cool is the capstone on Hitman, with the fact that whenever you use an active ability, it triggers all your kill skills. Now, this overcomes one of the big drawbacks of kill skill based abilities, which is on boss fights or when you start engagements before you've killed anything, it can feel a bit rubbish. But to be honest, with this build, I think that's not going to be an issue, because you can just blow an active as soon as you start combat and get all of those kill skills going and start snowballing very early on. Also, towards the end game, the digi-clone is going to be absolutely beast mode with Boom Enhance, and the grenades are just going to be popping out everywhere. So overall, this is going to be a great fun build. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. If you like this video and my other stuff, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell to know when a new video is posted. And if you want to watch me and also my wife Katie go live with Borderlands 3 and other stuff most days of the week, check us out live on twitch.tv/Madals. Thanks for watching. See you soon.